Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Metagame Minute, your favorite once weekly follow-up podcast to the hit Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast, Chaotic Amateurs. We are here to talk about what we've come to lovingly name the Chaotic Siesta. I don't know. I tried.
What?
The downtime dudes. Our week of downtime, hanging out at the chateau after a grueling trek through the mage's wastes. All right, regular horn order, starting with Milo, Mr. Ball. I know you don't feel too good, so let's go ahead and get you out of the way. Takeaways from this episode. Mr. Ball, you're trying to upgrade the mage's tower. You sent this poor lady who just came back to what could have been certain death, but she's alive. So I don't know. Yeah, what's your takeaways from this episode?
Yeah, that was one of the things I was thinking when we were selling the stuff. It's like, well, we can get like 400 gold for these things, or we can take them back to the chateau and sell them for more. And then I remembered we had that opportunity to upgrade like the different stuff in the mansion, and the mage's tower was the one that kind of gave me an extra boost where I can cast transmutation spells at a higher level. And I don't know what happens at second level, but I would assume it's something similarly cool. So yeah, I like the idea of investing those components into that.
Glad you remembered that.
Yeah. That's something I use quite a bit because I use a lot of that transmutation stuff to give you guys buffs and give me buffs and stuff. Yeah, that stuff with Aura. That was one of those things that I kind of just did on a whim. It was like, well, this could be funny, and who knows what's going to happen with it. And I'm glad something is happening with it. Yeah, I that's my favorite thing in D&D is when you just do something and then something happens. And Alex is really good about making stuff happen when you do something kind of silly.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see what this is.
When you did that, because I knew that this was what was going to happen. Like that I knew once this thing touched something living, it was going to go crazy, and I'm glad this is how we kind of see it happening.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's super cool, and we get to learn more about like this kind of technology and stuff too. So it's gonna be a useful thing.
We're doing science, as Wolf would say. Mr. Telbrun.
Yes, sir. You forgot everything I did.
You swung a machete at a log. Like, what are you even doing? You know, it's just every episode you're like, I'm gonna do something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I try very hard to rationalize it all, but
you sent a somewhat living being back into the nether realms in exchange for a carpet.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that.
You
just like destroyed your little fiend friend.
Yeah, as Ollie was leaving, he was like, I thought I was feeling love.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get there, guys. One at a time. I'm dogpiling Caleb right now. No, but you got to taste some whale poop or something like that. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, put some under my eyes.
I mean, you had a lot of great role-playing moments and stuff like that, but as far as the sort of takeaways afterwards,
there's not a whole lot to sift through. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not trying to say it as like a snarky thing. I just mean like, do you know?
No, I get it.
What are you left with? What are you anticipating?
I have to say that as a player, I was tempted by Adrian.
Right.
Yeah.
Look.
But I think that Scory, that's kind of a bastardization of what Scory holds dear. You know, his spirit and his soul and stuff, because that's how he connects with his ancestors and all that, and he wouldn't give that up for a parlor trick.
A parlor trick, bro. I'm sorry.
I also, the fact that the first thing you did with it is hop on it and then eat dinner on it. But thinking of you just eating and getting like cheese puff dust all over it, and
Bro, I even had Willem pull the covers off my bed, and I laid on the carpet and went straight down on the bed and had him tuck me in with a flying carpet underneath.
it's like sleeping on air.
Yeah.
But no, like I was serious. Like I was kind of surprised because like I know that Scory holds that stuff sort of near and dear, but you know, the power of souls, so giving a piece of it away, like you got a lot more soul to give.
That's true. He didn't say how big the piece was.
Right.
That's
so
true.
you give a little piece away, you get something cool in exchange, dude. And then when you get tired of one, you just have your friends kill them. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
he's like,
that's how
I got
you
a piece of your
operate.
soul. Exactly. It's been working out great. And honestly, when Adrian gets on my nerves,
Got a flying carpet.
I'm hoping that we can get another person to come in and make a blood oath to kill him. So
well, I will say that something that intrigued me quite a bit in this last episode, in terms of Scory's involvement, was finding out that the boarding school he was a part of offered up some tips to the mages. I don't know how I feel about that morally. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's dirty. He wasn't necessarily a big fan of the school that he was at because he wasn't really there by choice, but at the same time he feels a bit of a loyalty because it kind of provided his path from there on and gave him his connection to his spiritual path. So there's kind of a dichotomy happening there.
Interesting. So sounds like Scory has a rich inner life that needs to come across in the podcast. No.
Still waters run deep, and you can't hear them on a microphone, unfortunately.
That's fair. It's a fair point and a fair way to play.
Yeah.
For me, I now have a flying carpet. I haven't been off of it since I got it. It's been pretty cool. Like at night, I had to go to the bathroom, and I just flew out my window over the balcony into the trees, and I just pissed off the carpet, like from really high up, and it was pretty cool.
I like to think that there was a moment though in the night where you rolled over to hug Ollie, and he wasn't there, and you remembered, oh geez.
Yeah, that sucked. I do feel pretty guilty about that, but Adrian told me that he would be fine. And
Ollie's gonna climb back from the pits and the depths of hell to get his revenge on you.
Yep.
He's gonna come back as like a demon prince. He'll climb his ranks.
Alex, please,
hell.
please, Alex.
See, the thing is too
We'll
is
get
that
there.
I after Dash got the horse, I was like, oh man, like I gotta like. Sometimes I after we last played, I said, you know what? I think I just gotta ask more often. You know.
Well, couldn't Ollie become that for you?
Well, and that's what I was like, kind of in my mind. I mean, most of the rules are like pretty clear that like, you know, this is what your familiars are good for. And, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I went with an imp over the other things and blah, 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 blah. And so I was excited to have it. But then me and Alex talked about off the podcast, like, well, you know, having this familiar that can do these things, it adds like a complexity to the game that like you could hog a whole episode, like just trying to get Ollie to like do stuff, like trying to spy on people or do this. He's invisible. Like you're just doing all these things. And I thought, you know, that's a good point. And so, you know, I've only used them a couple times for things like following that guy into the thing. And Ollie was indispensable and actually fucking seeing the dude when we were in the book cave. But
how long did it take you to make the decision of choosing Ollie the imp?
I rolled the dice, and to be fair, I said I gave Ollie the advantage, and I said a 1 or a 2, and I'll take the. I rolled the 6-sided dice, and I said a 1 or a 2, I'll take the carpet, and I rolled a 1.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say, if you spent a lot of time deciding that Ollie was the thing for you, and then in a split second you gave him up for a carpet.
Yeah, and that's why I rolled. But yeah, and then I was thinking, it's like, okay, a carpet, I think has like a functionality level that could be sort of equivalent to a familiar like Ollie that can go invisible and do and speak to me psychically and do all this sort of stuff and even like fight on the battlefield.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I don't know. The magic carpet, it flies.
It's got utility for sure.
It has a different level of what utility. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting. We'll see what happens. I made a lot of decisions when I picked Ollie as like my thing, my warlock feature. that have now changed because I have a flying carpet.
Alex, can he go back now since he kind of undid the familiar? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I tried.
You've got some class features
Yeah.
that now don't do anything.
Exist,
because you
but
have a flying carpet.
Yeah. Luckily, it. Yeah, I mean, I basically miss out on a whole. The whole packed feature. You know, I was packed to the chain, and that's gone now.
Oops.
Flying carpet.
Yeah, I do have flying carpet. So that begs the question then:
idiot.
if I cast my like summon, you know, chain my pack to the chain summoning feature, does it bring my carpet? Like if my carpet gets destroyed or something, can I just like summon it again?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna take the carpet away from you and leave you with nothing. For Adrian, it was a choice. It was, do you want this thing that you got, or you want this?
And that was the other part of it. Not to take up too much time with this whole thing, but since we're talking about it, I actually do feel a real connection as Arthur with Adrian. Like we've developed that like from the beginning. It's always felt strong. Like even when we first met him as a dragon and all these types of things. And like he has his games that he's playing, and he has his like his things that he's trying to pull over, you know, trying to pull the wool over my eyes, or whatever. But like he's already better than Eben was. Like at least he hasn't asked me to like cut off anybody's hands. And so the choice, I did feel it kind of weighted, but like flying carpet is like a very rare fucking item to get your hands on in this game. And all of these other things. So I was like, okay, there's a level of trade-off that's equal there. And not only that, it's Adrian. Like, I'm sure that this could be an interesting thing.
I absolutely love the dynamic between you two. Like, there's this battle of charm and wits constantly happening between the two of you. And it seems like Adrian obviously is the more powerful being, but that doesn't stop Arthur from kind of, you know,
well, and you know
how,
a fight. And exactly. And that's exactly like with Eben, it was a little bit more like direct, but with Adrian, it's a little bit more subtle. But I think like, you know how they say that if you borrow, you know, $10,000 from the bank and you can't pay it back, that's your problem. But if you borrow $10 million from the bank, you can't pay it back, that's the bank's problem.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the principle I'm operating on with Adrian, is like I'm trying to see like how deep his well of generosity goes. Like it's like how much debt can I get in with Adrian, you know, because there will come a point where
you're gonna be his MLM bitch. That's how it's gonna end up.
It's gonna be debts that can't be paid back, and it's going to benefit me more than it benefits him. I feel, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I've talked about this way too long, but I think about it all the time whenever I listen to the podcast though. Let's go ahead and go to Bentley, Riferian, chucking that wood, doing the things. Turns out, unfortunately, was it you that was researching the book, or was that? I guess that was Scory, wasn't it? So sorry, research is definitely a Riff's thing. But what are your takeaways from this episode with kind of just the downtime and doing things like that? We're going to go into dinner with your friend coming up, which is kind of neat, I think. Because you're the only one that really has like any ends with that family. Like I don't even think we've met the Lord and Lady yet, technically. But you've met their son. You're in with their son.
And the sisters and a lot of my stuff I did like off mic because it would be pointless for me to do it on mic. Like I sent Alex a bunch of messages. I was like, you know, throughout the week, it's like I would get up, I would train with Wolf in his army, and I would like do my stuff, and then I would like, you know, spar with them or do whatever, and then it's like I would head off to the library. And I've just been like going through the library stuff, looking at the maps and like the areas that we were at, adding to their library, because I would imagine they have topographical maps. So then it's like I would add like my POV maps of stuff that I drew while we were out there in the wastes. I'm cross-referencing anything I possibly can as far as like, you know, the mage language that I was finding, and then, you know, continuing to like work out that alphabet and try to decipher the language as much as possible. Or that I'm doing, you know, research on the liquid of aether and all that other stuff. Like I'm basically just there. If I'm not at the chateau eating, I'm there at the library going through all the shit. And then it's like I'm also researching researching to see if the common cause shows up in any like cross-referencing stuff of all the place that, you know, they were supposed to be the bad guys or whatever. So possibly
I feel like Riff is writing the Art of War, like this world's version of the Art of War.
I don't know about that, but I'm definitely adding to the library, and I'm definitely trying to figure out, because like the treasure of Aether doesn't seem like it's going to be like a gold mine, like it's national treasure. It seems like it's whatever this liquid is that we found that like brings life and heals stuff and whatever. So the treasure of Aether could be something that's like, you know, just that was something that my family's always gone after, and now it seems like it's popping up and that sort of thing. And also like the mage thing, all that mage stuff, I think has a lot to do with stuff, and it's all just kind of like down to in the language and everything, since no one really kind of knows what it is. Like she wants to figure it out. That's like her big jam, like on her character sheet, is that she loves research. She has a researcher feat and all that sort of stuff. And then also this is kind of like her like study abroad, or like, you know, a work study, if you will. Like she could have stayed at the monastery and become like a teacher and a monk, or, you know, you go work out in the field and like bring back your stuff. And that's why she keeps in touch with one of the people there, the letters that she's writing and that sort of stuff, that we did a couple episodes ago. Yeah. And then also the way the library, I mean, you know, we all know this, I suppose. I mean, you guys as players know this, but it's like, you have to like give the library in order for it to take. So it's like, I've been doing all that stuff because I'm asking for some pretty crazy shit, like with my bag and like with my cloak, I'm asking for enchanting and a lot of shit. So I'm trying to give back as much as possible to like let them know, not just them in the story, but let Alex also know like that I'm serious about like the trade-off stuff. And then it's like, if they also needed gold, she'd probably be like, I'll give you some gold. And actually she definitely wants to, like, if they have like people that kind of do like what the Tyrion, that was the robot guy, right? If they have people there at the library that are like their folks that work on potions or do whatever, you like study new shit, she actually wants to donate her box of fucking stuff to the library if they have those people there like doing research and stuff like that. So
cool. Excellent. Nice. Riff's been busy, and we're just all like trading our souls for flying carpets and shit.
She wants to get on that carpet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wolf has his own army, which is pretty cool. You have a nightmare steed, which I've been,
and his own skincare line.
My own skincare line and a down line.
And now you're a hashtag boss bitch. And,
yeah. Yep. Pretty awesome stuff, man.
So what are Wolf's takeaways? What are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to a stately dinner?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and show my horse off to them.
Why is this horse at the dinner table?
Yeah,
isn't this pretty cool?
My horse is sentient.
It just shit on the table.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, does he shit coal or what?
Yeah, like, I was gonna say, he's got fire poops.
Yeah.
Clean coal.
Clean coal. He burns clean coal. Yeah, smoky ash. He's excited to show off his horse and maybe his little small militia. Maybe if he can turn these guys into like capable like elite warriors, they'll have a little like fighting squad that like, you know, I don't know, a kingdom could use for like
you gotta have
a secret, like, I don't know, like Bin Laden kind of stuff, you know. Like
you gotta have someone
taken out. You send these guys in.
You gotta have a dojo demo.
Yeah. We're
like at the mall.
We're called the Wolves.
I like the idea of that. Like, obviously these are your people in a way, but like we're working together. You know, we're the Wolf Pack, and so like maybe the Wolf Pack gets its own like, you know, heraldry. We get a banner. We bring your men around, and we like have a little bit of extra like esteem that comes with having our own like bannermen and like guards and stuff.
Yeah, we build an army. We challenge the kingdoms. We rule the land.
We should fucking take over Usama.
We should take over Usama.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, we won the tournament. How hard could it be?
I mean, how hard could it be to defeat an entire kingdom?
Bitches.
Yeah, what is there, like 24 of us?
Yeah, all we need is like a couple mages, because apparently that's like their kryptonite. And
So, hear me out.
We
I'm
got Water
friends-
Skull.
I'm friends with a bunch of dragons. Okay, we keep getting in good with them, and we wage this sort of proxy war. And when the dust settles, we negotiate with the dragons to take over our own slice of the kingdom of Us.
yeah, and we'll get Milo's character to control the other Warforged, and he'll have his own little Warforged army.
Yeah,
So
well,
our armies combined will descend upon Usama,
yeah,
and we'll wipe the scum from the earth.
yeah. It'll be nice to have an army of just soulless automatons to help us wipe out a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did we ever stop to think, are the mages actually the bad people in this?
That's what Riff's trying to figure out. I think she's
Maybe it's us, guys.
nobody
I'm
stores
saying maybe
themselves.
we have a plot twist. Maybe
This
we're
is-
the bad guys.
This is metagame minute. Hardcore.
It is metagame
I like
minute.
this.
So
I like to think that anybody that stores themselves in like a crystal in order to avoid death is a bad guy. Like that's like
you
some
think
half-
you think a
way to
water
look
skull
at it.
guy?
well,
what-
water
what's his
skull
name?
guy.
Florian.
Florian, that's right. It's so funny that I didn't know because I fucking named him.
Yeah.
Florian. It'd be interesting once he like gets a body. We should check in on that, by the way. But to go back to your original question, I am excited about this dinner to talk to some royals. Also, Wolf doesn't know how to talk to like people of higher esteem, so
I'm
he's
super
just
excited for that.
100% going to treat them like just his bunkmates.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought that your dynamic was going to be interesting there. So
And you're
So,
just
yeah,
there
I'm
with no
excited.
shirt on, right? You're just in like a loincloth, right?
Yeah, and like my helmet and my mantle of the Pack Lord draping over my shoulders.
Not knowing which fork to use.
I just use my axe as I'm cutting steak.
you lean your axe up so the blade's upright, and you just like draw the stake
Oh, that's a
over
good
the
idea.
blade.
It's pretty sharp, huh?
I made it from wolf's femur bone.
You should see what this axe can do to a living person.
I could split you like a wet piece of timber.
Great party, by the way.
So easy to kill you right now.
He picks up his little flout of like, delicious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we're at a stately dinner party.
You think he's out.
All right, Alex. Are we winning your game?
You are winning my game.
Yes.
You're having some good conversations, I think, for what's going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
true metagame minute. I won't let it enter into my game knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Ollie?
Oh God, you don't get to know that until he's right behind you.
Fucking dagger. He's like, Master, you sent me away for a carpet?
Hell,
I'll bring him back if he wants to work for me and I can keep my carpet. Like, fuck.
I'll put him on the payroll.
Yeah, I got money. I got shit.
I'll let you ride the carpet.
You want to ride a carpet, bro? It's all good. When he comes to get me, that'll be my survival tactic, is just trying to
I got this for
spoil him
you.
with riches. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Ollie's fucking flying around on a carpet because I was like, this is yours, bro. Anyway. Well, if there's anything else you want to add, Alex, because I totally stole that from you, but otherwise we'll get to the
No,
next
no,
episode.
you guys are doing good.
Excellent.
I'm just excited for this, UFO.
Excellent.
Oh, boy.
Okay, well, we will find out what happens with this UFO and more on the next episode of Chaotic Amateurs, coming at you Monday. Wherever you get your podcast, grab your sword and keep on adventuring.